Solomon was considered by God himself to be the wisest man that ever lived. And Solomon wrote this book of Ecclesiastes, which means the preacher. And he's become silver-haired at this time, up there in age. He's in his winter years. And he's looking over his life, and he's trying to see all the dynamics and nuances of life, and he outlines for us 14 different couplets: a time to be born, a time to die, time to search, time to give up. 14 different couplets. And then he concludes by saying, you know what people are really searching for? Happiness. And you know where you find it? He says, God has given us to find satisfaction in our toil. Then he says, this is the gift of God. There was a question that was put to Madonna many years ago. Madonna, this famous, popular, music star, very wealthy woman. And the interviewer asked her this question: Madonna, are you happy? Here was her answer: I don't even know anybody that's happy. So money doesn't buy happiness. Fame doesn't bring happiness. Popularity doesn't bring happiness. Sexual exploits, conquest, and broadness of sexual promiscuity and behavior doesn't bring happiness. So the question is, how do you find happiness? I wrote a book a couple of years ago. I titled it, The Habits of Happy People, because I unearthed all of this social research by psychologists and sociologists and behavioral scientists when they studied happy people. And what are these habits? The publisher changed the title to The Secrets of a Satisfying Life with Baker Bookhouse. And someone asked me, David, are you happy? I said, wait until I finish writing the book. Let me find out what the book says. There's this happiness thing. We're chasing after it. But I want you to see that it's not a frivolous thing. Jesus said this in John 10, verse 10, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. And the kind of life he's talking about was not bios, which is the Greek word for biological life. He was talking about the Greek word zoe, Z-O-E, which means the God kind of life. Jesus says, I have come to give you life, and life to the full, or give you the God kind of life. So it's not God's will that you walk around depressed, dejected, discouraged, brokenhearted, willing to give up, just always walking near the edge, about to jump at any moment. That's not God's will. That's not God's heart. That's not God's design. And like the Apostle Paul told the church at Philippi in chapter 4, verse 12, Paul says this: I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content, or being satisfied, or being happy in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. Paul says, I found the secret. So there's secrets here. I'm going to give you 4 secrets to being happy. And my prayer is, before you walk out of these double doors today, something is going to erupt inside of you that's positive and life-giving and healthy and emotionally satisfying, that your perspective will be altered about your life and yourself and your reality. And you're going to begin to enjoy a happy life. It's God's will. It's His heart. Secret number 1. Happy people make the choice to be happy. You may say, I thought it was a secret you're going to tell me. I thought it was something heavy. I thought it was going to be some physicist coming down who's an astrophysicist give me some great big revelation. Listen. Happy people make the choice to be happy. Verse 12 tells us that. I know that there's nothing better for men than to be happy and do good while they live. Solomon's saying, hey, people have choices here, but I know there's nothing better than this, than to be happy. In other words, happiness is a choice. Apart from the physical needs for food, shelter, clothing, happiness is a decision and a choice that you must make. Dr. Viktor Frankl, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he was imprisoned by the Nazis in World War II and because he was Jewish. And Viktor Frankl saw the Nazis kill his parents, his wife, his children right in front of him. They also stripped him down to where he was totally naked. They cut his wedding band off of his finger. And here's what Viktor Frankl said to himself that day. You can take away my wife, you can take away my children, you can strip me of my clothes and my freedom. But there's one thing no person can ever take away from me, and that is my freedom to choose how I will react to what happens to me. I say to you today that Solomon says there's nothing better for men than to be happy. Happiness is a choice. You have to make the choice. Now listen, because I have discovered, and I'm sure you have as well, once I share it, you're going to say, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. I've discovered this. Unhappy people, they constantly procrastinate, and they never manage their lives. And so when you look at happiness as a choice, the issue is that it's your life. The life that you're living, it's your life. You have the choice to manage your life, to make hard, wise decisions, or to procrastinate and delay, or to put off, or to make it last, or skip the decision. And that's why I say procrastination is the grave in which happiness is buried.